For more than 1,000 years, the Thames has been London's lifeline. The city grew up around its banks. Today's 7 million modern Londoners probably never give it a second thought. They simply see it as a sightseeing attraction, a place to relax, enjoy the view. But the truth is, the River Thames is still a vital part of today's infrastructure. Every time we use the loo or our sinks, the water from our homes and businesses ends up in the Thames via a network of ancient drains and pipes. London's sewer system is ancient, 150 years plus in some places. It was designed by the Victorians and it wasn't designed for the city we live in today. So how is the sewer system coping in the 21st century metropolis? And what will be needed to be done to make sure that our sewer system can cope with the needs of this city in the future? I'm about to find out. Despite its age, Joseph Bazalgette's sewer system still works. It may be rusty in a few places, but all this machinery is still vital working kit. The network of tunnels and chambers is surprisingly well preserved, and the brickwork in some places is immaculate. But there's a problem. These sewers were built for a population of 1 million people. We've got 7 times that number now. They simply can't cope with the demand when sewage systems are at capacity, and particularly when there's a big downpour. The runoffs overflow, which means even today, raw sewage ends up in the Thames.
Today's modern living and today's way of living, polluting the river Thames on a regular basis is not acceptable, and it's got to be addressed. And I feel that, and I know that we're touching very little of the fabric of the Bazalgette sewers. What we're doing is we're adding to it to enhance it, bring it up into the modern day to deal with London today, London in 100 years' time.
What Thames Water is doing is building a huge tunnel to take sewage out of the river. The Thames Tideway Tunnel will be the biggest engineering project seen in London in decades. At the foot of Battersea Power Station, in 3 years' time, you'll see massive engineering works here. That's because this is one of the prime sites where they'll start digging the Thames Tideway Tunnel.
The Thames Tideway Tunnel is absolutely not to replace Bazalgette's existing interceptor sewers, or indeed London's sewage system as a whole. It acts as an overflow, so that instead of the sewers overflowing into the river, that flow will be captured in big, deep concrete tubes down into the ground, and it will take the flow down into there, pass it into the tunnel, and the tunnel will pass from West London. It starts in Acton and ends in Abbey Mills and Newham, and it will take the sewage to the east, and then from Abbey Mills on to Beckton Sewage Treatment Works, where it will be treated before it's passed back into the river.
Once it's built, the Thames Tideway Tunnel will augment these Victorian sewers and hopefully increase their lifespan by reducing the strain on this old infrastructure. And when it's finished, muck like this should be prevented from entering the river, and that will mean a cleaner Thames.
We will hugely improve river water quality in the tidal River Thames. We will remove lots and lots of litter that's currently discharged into the river, and we will reduce the potential health hazard for people using the river.
So if all goes well, by the end of this decade, the Tideway Tunnel will transform the Thames and ensure London's lifeline has a cleaner future. Sumit Bose, Energy Live News, the River Thames.